What if you woke up tomorrow morning and your AI business partner had already built you a website, an app, and even a product you could sell online instantly? Not just writing the text, but actually creating stuff that you can launch today and make money from. That's exactly what we're going to be testing today. I'm giving ChatGPT 3 instructions and letting it to do everything for me. By the end of this video, you're going to see 3 real digital products you can make money from while you're sleeping. All right, let's start with a website. I'm asking ChatGPT to create a full landing page for my AI agency called Islands AI. It needs a hero section, a pricing section, a contact form section, and it all should look proper, like a professional website. All right, guys, let's jump straight into it. So we are at the main screen of ChatGPT. So just go to chatgpt.com. And the only difference that you're going to do now, you're going to put in the prompt that, we just discussed about creating your own website page for our AI automation agency, Islands AI. So you put in the prompt, and then just the only difference here is you get a agent mode. So click on that, and it will show actually on the side there as well how many runs you have left for the month. And again, the sources, you can either connect it to your GitHub or just use the website, but we're just going to use the website for now and just let it run. Okay, so imagine doing this for something major task. For now we're creating a website, but imagine like you have a thing that you have to do at work, like a presentation or anything like that for the next day, and you didn't have time to do it. Now, this is the way how to do it. You just put something on, you go to sleep, you wake up, and you just check in on it. It will take some time, and we'll see how long this process takes. So as you can see now, the GPT agent actually has started creating the HTML and CSS landing page. It'll go step by step. You can see it in live action. So it creates its own desktop that you can monitor. So you can watch and see how each of the steps, or you can actually change it to activity. And here you will see it's in a written format. I prefer the visual, but it really depends on you. So it's just a different way of viewing things. So I prefer the desktop view. So another thing, you can actually take over the browser, but I guess that's not something we want to do, because that's what the agents are there for. It's a agentic technology. We want it to be working on its own to save us time. So, but again, if you're ever concerned or anything like that, you can either stop it or you can interact, take over the browser and actually perform some of the tasks yourself, or again, prevent it from doing something. So that's pretty much all the functionality that you have there. And so what we'll do, we'll let this run, and then we'll focus on the next automation now. And that's another thing with GPT agents. You're not sort of stuck with just running one, and then you have to wait until it finishes, and then you do the next one. You can do these as many times as you want, right? Simultaneously. So again, that's the beauty of AI agents. And this is why this agentic technology, I think, is really going to revolutionize a lot of these businesses and really allow automation to take place and be useful for so many different types of businesses that potentially at the moment might be overlooking AI, thinking like, well, it's not really for them, but this is just going to streamline things, and potentially I think it might replace some jobs. So that's my personal opinion. So next one, we're going to do an app builder. So an app builder prompt. Okay, let's put that one in. So once again, we go into ChatGPT and we want to put the next prompt in. So this one is about the app. So you are an app builder agent, create a responsive interactive calculator that estimates how much money a business saves by using AI. And, there's a small instruction. It's not really detailed. Again, this is a tutorial. We don't really want to go extremely specific and make this complex. I'm just showing some of the functionalities that are there and how easy it is actually to make AI to work instead of you. All right, so let's just run this. No, that was a mistake there. So we want to click the agent mode, put the prompt in, and always remember to put the agent mode on. All right, let's have a look at the website. Still coding. So you can see it actually coding different sections as we talk. So that's really interesting as well. You can actually look into the code. Yeah. All right. So this one is setting up the desktop now for the app builder. And now we're going to launch the third one, which is going to be the digital product that I was previously mentioning it. So let's run that now. So, all right. So let's turn the agent mode straight away. Put in the prompt, you're a digital product creator agent. Write a 10-page book titled AI Automations for Small Businesses. Include a professional introduction, table of contents, and the rest, right? You can just see the prompt here. Let me know if you want the prompts. I'll put the prompts in the descriptions for you below so you can just copy them and sort of try this out. But again, this is not limited to these specific examples. These are just an example, so feel free to use whatever you think is actually working the best for you and, most suits your business or your niche, your job. So looking at here, creating an interactive app. Again, you can see the code. It actually shows the timeline. It worked for 25 seconds. And let's see what it says. All right, so it looks like the AI agent has finished working on our landing page. So let's just click on it here. So overall, it worked for 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes, he actually created a AI agent. So let's have a look. So we just downloaded it. We're opening it up and boom, transform your business with AI automation. Islands AI helps you leverage chatbots, voice agents, workflow automations to streamline operations, enhance customer engagement. Book a free audit. And it even created a contact page here in the bottom. So you can put your email, put your message in here as well. So let's say name's James. And we submitted the email. So obviously it's not connected just yet, and there's nothing connecting in the back end, but this is doing a half of the job for you. Book a free AI audit. So it takes here. Here's some of the packaging. Again, this is really simple. It all leads down to here, and then you'll just have to connect the backend to ensure it actually emails you. But it gives you the 3 different types of packages, shows different services that you do. It's very simple, right? And obviously design-wise, I wouldn't say it's like the best. I mean, it's very simple, very basic. But let's say you just want to try out an idea. You don't have money to invest. You're just starting out a business and you just want something simple. It's an MVP. You just want to get it out. You want to test it. I think it's a great way how to do it, right? And honestly, some of these websites, one of the things I do, I scrape websites. I go out and I look for people that don't have websites or have really bad ones. I mean, some of the websites I've seen is like 10 times worse than this. And this is simple and it took 5 minutes, right? So you potentially could go out to a business that has pretty much nothing or something worse than this. You can offer them and say like, hey, and that's one of those things. Once you're through the door, once you actually start engaging with these clients, then you can actually offer them AI automation services if that's what you do, or you can offer some different services, potentially photography or, videos or whatever you are niching down to. You can potentially offer them to them as well. So again, you can tie in different offerings, but the first is just to capture the client. So again, something that didn't take any amount of work for you, you just put this on, put the prompt in, and AI created you a website within 5 minutes that you can potentially go out and sell to clients. And remember, this is in early days. This is ChatGPT just releasing their brand new product. So it's probably going to be something that is, GPT-5 is not released yet. And this is going to be the main functionality of GPT-5. So it's going to be full automation of, you basically ask it to do anything and it just does it for you. So if this is just a preview of what's coming, then, potentially at some stage you will be able just to copy and paste a website's link in there and say like, hey, create me the same thing, just change colors a little bit. Here's my custom domain. Here's my logo. Sort of, tailor it for my business, but use this as the structure. So I think this is where we're going. Website design, website sort of human creativity. I think, for this specific kind of thing, I think is coming to an end. I think AI will fully take over AI website development. I might be wrong, but I think this is where we're heading. And it's not just the websites. I think custom solutions, custom apps, custom SaaS. I mean, anything to do with software. I think, we're heading in a way where we just prompt it. And, the skill is really going to be just about prompting. How good of a prompter you are rather than how good of a developer you are. So, all right, so let's have a look at the next one. We asked for it to create an app. So that was a simple calculator for a business to calculate. So it's an app builder prompt. So originally I put the prompt in, but it just gave me the code. So I said, look, I can't really see anything. Can you actually provide me a tangible results? And it provided me this link. So let's click on that. And let's open that up. All right, here we go. So hours saved per week. 10, hourly wage, 20, and weeks per year, 52, right? So here we're saying well, if you're using an automation and, normally somebody would get paid $20 a month, $20 an hour, then the overall savings here would potentially be, if we would automate that, would be 10,400. Now, it's very basic, again, right? The design, everything, the use case wise, I don't really know how great this thing is. Potentially we could integrate that into our website here, right? So that could be one of the modules. But again, we could have potentially just prompted that into a website creation, right? So as a standalone app, I'm not entirely sure that, there's a huge kind of wow effect here. But anyway, again, showcasing what potentially is possible. And then for a ebook, it has also created our ebook. Again, it took just 5 minutes. So let's open up an ebook here. Look, and here's an article that sort of explains as, tables. It's done some research online, shows how much percentage-wise values added. Actually shows the sources. So this is great. This is not again, UI wise beautiful. You can have this into a PDF or, that you can resell, but analytics wise, right? It's done some great analysis in the back end to actually come up with this. So, and also conclude. So I think this is really good. Again, it's not extremely long, just for the sake of this video, not to keep it too long. All of these, the prompts were extremely short. And again, the more detailed prompt you have, the more things you ask, the harder the agent's going to work, the more detailed product you can have in the end. The only thing we really ask here is some very basic steps, and it's followed it step by step. So I think it's important to know that even though the results might think I could have done potentially something like this with ChatGPT before, but actually, there's a lot more that's gone into this research-wise. And also the output is better as well. But I think the best thing out of the ones that we tested, in my opinion, is the website. Even though it is quite basic, I think there's a huge potential and opportunity that's going to come ahead in the next months or years, and I think you have a great opportunity, if you're watching this now, to hop on this now, try out the prompting, try out what's possible, because it's only gonna progress and become better. So I think within, if you start now, if you start testing how to create software and how to create websites, then you could be ahead of the curve. And when the new GPT update comes out and UI is a lot better, and you could potentially have 3D elements and really have a high converting, visually pleasing websites, you could go out and sell these on all these different online freelancing platforms and charge customers, substantial amounts of money. So just to summarize, here's what we discussed today. ChatGPT can build websites, apps, products, and so much more now. It's no longer just a chatbot. It's a real digital worker that can create things people will pay you while you're asleep. If you want me to show even more crazier things how to make money with AI, subscribe and like the channel. And just let me know in the comments and I'll work it on the next one. And if you want your own GPT agents or automations built for your business, just reach out to Islands AI. See you in the next one.